Hi everyone, this is Neel Raithatha, consultant audiologist and director of WAXscope. Thank you for joining me, which probably will be my last video for a couple of weeks because I'm off to Australia, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to have any more time. Even this is pushing it, but I will try and upload some videos whilst I'm there, possibly if I've got some downtime, which I don't think I've got much of. I'll come back to the Australia trip in a moment, but this was a really great case of the WAXscope. So I'm initially using the size 2 teardrop specular. Such a narrow ear canal, unbelievably narrow, and that's the second bend there to the right. It's just too narrow, can't insert the size 2 specular any deeper. But at the moment I don't need to, I've got a good visual on the wax. And this wax has been impacted against the patient's eardrum because they wear sleep plugs at night because their partner snores. It was a bit awkward because they were both in attendance. I'm not sure he took it. I'm not sure. He took it well, but it was a bit awkward. Bless him. But it's more common than you think. We have a lot of patients who wear sleep plugs because their partner snores, and as a result, this wax gets impacted. And this patient suffers from the vasovagal response, which is, and it's typically induced by the patient seeing a needle. So whenever they see a needle, like a syringe or a needle to draw blood, what happens is the blood vessels dilate, the heart rate reduces, and the net effect is lower blood pressure going to the brain, and they actually faint. And obviously I was a bit worried that they may suffer from the vasovagal response during the earwax removal procedure because we've got instruments, but in the ear there's a condition, it's more or less the same as the vasovagal response. We call it auditory syncope, and that's where the Arnold's nerve can be innervated. Now the Arnold's nerve is a nerve that it attaches to the vagus nerve, and it runs on the posterior canal wall. So this is the patient's right ear, so on the left hand side, and the lower section. And sometimes when you innervate that, particularly if you use manual instruments, because the manual instruments you're going close to the canal wall, it can induce and innervate the Arnold's nerve, which can lead to auditory syncope, and they can faint. So they did get slightly dizzy, but they were fine. They were really, and the patient was a bit nervous at the beginning because obviously they were a bit worried that they may faint, but they were completely fine actually. We were talking during the procedure, just had a really nice chat with them actually, a really nice couple that came today. Which kind of leads me on to another story. I'll tell you what happened. Today's been quite an eventful day. It's been very, very busy. I've still got, it's 8:30 in the evening. I've got to go shop. I've got tons more to do. But I was really, really happy with the WAXscope because this is not, it may look easy, it's not, it's impacted, so put loads of olive oil. I'll just come on to another story. It was a shame actually. So I had a patient, they come every year, bless her, she's lovely, really lovely. And she normally attends with her son or daughter. And we have a strict policy at the clinic where we, at the time of booking, we charge the initial appointment fee. And that also covers the removal of earwax from one ear. But at the appointment itself, if you need earwax removed from the second ear, we charge an additional fee. And we've been doing this since COVID, so 6 years. And this patient comes every year, but as I said, normally their son and daughter attend, but on this occasion, the husband attended. And it's the first time he's been to the clinic, and just from the moment he walked into the door, I just sensed that, I don't know, he just wasn't happy about something. I don't know, it's just the way, you just get that vibe sometimes, but just looked at me quite in a different way and just seemed really angry. And so obviously I know the patient, we have a good rapport. She's got quite a few health conditions as well, so she's always telling me about it, and we've chatted about other stuff as well. And so removed the wax from one ear, and just as usual there's wax in the second ear. So obviously I asked, we always ask, would you like me to remove it from the second ear? She goes, yes, of course, please do. And the second ear was actually, although she felt was better, it was actually a more complex ear. And normally it's the patient's son or daughter who pays for the second fee. So and it was her son who booked the appointment on this occasion. So I asked her before she went, I guess, do you want me to contact, because we don't mind contacting her son and daughter on her behalf. Who'd you like us to call to make the payment? And then her husband really abruptly interrupted, and it was more the tone he spoke in. It was really rude and aggressive. Why do we have to pay more? What are you on about? And obviously I was just try to calm down. Says, oh, sir, sorry, it's the first time you've attended. This is normal. And his wife said, yeah, that it's normal. Like, this is the normal procedure. And he just looked really disgruntled. And he was just kind of uffing and puffing. I think that's the best way I can describe it. And at that stage, I just felt so uncomfortable taking the fee for the second ear. And I said, look, just to his wife, just leave it. We're trying to help patients. That's what we do. And that's part of the reason why I decided to become an audiologist. If I wasn't an audiologist, I'll be doing something healthcare related, because that's always something I wanted to do. But at the same time, I run a business. I've got bills to pay, got mortgages to pay. I've got staff salaries, insurance, loads of subscriptions to like patient management systems, calibrations. I can go on. And I charge a very fair price for the services I offer. And in the end, I just couldn't take the money. I just felt really awkward. The patient's wife did apologise, and he did apologise in the end. And I kind of just said politely, like, if you weren't aware of the price, that's not a problem. There's no harm in you asking. You've got every right to ask why. Sorry, I'm not aware. So what's the payments for? So, I thought my son paid for it, and we would gladly explain to you that's not a problem. It's just the tone like he spoke. It was so, and it made me feel uncomfortable in my own clinic. And I've not had that in a while. But as I said, the moment he came in, you can just tell, like, I don't know, it's a really odd one. I can't find the words to describe. I know exactly what was in his mind, because I can tell by his body language, but I can't articulate it very well. Anyway, so the reason why I said that is I had this, a lovely experience with this couple today. Their daughter found me on YouTube, and they travelled quite a distance, and we squeezed them in because I'm kind of more or less fully booked until I go, and because they were travelling. So it was just a nice appointment. And then obviously early in the morning I had that, and we don't want that. So guys, we're just here, and it's not just me or any healthcare professional. I would hope genuinely, so they run a business, they've got their policies, their pricing. And obviously, if you don't agree with their policies or their pricing, not just with myself, but you've got the choice of not booking an appointment. That's entirely your prerogative. But, and I can sometimes feel, I've got a friend who works at GP practice for the NHS, and the amount of abuse they get because patients can't book appointments. And I get that frustration, but it's not, I would hope, not generally the person who's booking the appointments fault. They're just looking at the diary and what's available to them. That's what they're booking in. And this person was telling me it's getting far worse, and it does get her down. Like, she goes home thinking, why am I being spoken to like this? Like, it really puts her down, and because all I'm trying to do is help, And I think, short message, just trying to be nice to everyone. If you want to ask a question, no harm. Like, I wouldn't, don't mind, query the price. It's no problem whatsoever. But you can do it in a mature, adult, non-aggressive tone. Anyway, back to the video. So I'm using the size 1 specular. It's such an area. I managed to visualize most of the eardrum, but it's just so bendy. But I managed to see the hammer bone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Take care.